Hi friends, I'm going to tell you the story of the kindest thing that my body ever did for me. On November 3rd, 2020, I had designed a better election day experience for myself. I was going to wake up at 5 a.m., work most of the day, eat protein-rich snacks for emotional stability, and once my workday was done, once all the polls were closed, just unplug the internet. Because I knew we weren't going to have results on election night, and I could just remember in 2016 just feeling it in my spirit around 7 p.m. and having to excuse myself from the office to go have a good dry heave in the parking lot. And then having to go back in and keep watching a screen for 3 more hours. I wasn't gonna do that again. This time I was gonna work on a crossword puzzle or something. But instead, as soon as the last stay in line text went out to Alaska voters around 11 p.m. my time, I walked over here, I sat down, and then the next thing, it was 6 a.m. I say that's the best thing that my body ever did for me because my central nervous system was just like, are we dying? Are we dying? Are we in active danger? We don't know yet? Okay, whoom. I have been fortifying myself with rest. And thank God I have been doing that so that I could gather my strength for the take parade to come to town. In this season of the discourse, it seems like we're doing a lot of arguing about whether whatever happened was right, or more specifically, how everybody involved did everything wrong. And what that kicks up in me is that in the winter of 2017, not long after I was dry heaving in that Las Vegas parking lot, my mentor, Jess Morales-Roquetto, put together a sort of syllabus so that if I were to get myself together and go on organizing, I would know my lineage. I would not be foolish out here claiming to be the first person to organize via text message, or walk around not knowing about Ella Baker or the Combahee River Collective. And one of the things on that list was a video from the INE Institute, which studies social and political movements and how they're successful on a long time scale, not like 4 years long, I mean like 500 years long. And there's this video about movement ecology, it's linked below, that I return to often. I listened to it while I was painting my apartment last summer, and again last week. Lest I sit here and repeat every word of that 90-minute lecture for you, although you should set aside the time, it's worth it. In this video, I'm just gonna link to it and tell you the thing that I most want you to know. We can categorize the way that we go about building our movements and making social change into different theories of change. So there's personal transformation, which is when you hear people say, if I can just change one person's life, that'll have meant something. It's GoFundMes, it's bail funds, it's be the change that you want to see in the world. Then there's changing dominant institutions. That's your big structural changers. It's joining a union, or running for office, or voting for candidates with new ideas, changing things from the inside. There's the theory of building alternative systems. That's the can't dismantle the master's house with the master's tools club. This is where you find abolitionists and revolutionaries, where you build co-ops and communes. And there are things that exist in the overlap of these theories too. Mix personal transformation with alternative systems and you get mutual aid. Alternative systems and changing dominant institutions meet each other in the streets during mass protests. These theories can crash into each other too. Carlos Saavedra, the presenter, points out that most InterMovement fighting is about which theory of change is the right one. That's what most of the takery that I see out there on the line is about too. Someone will say to someone else, you're too establishment, or you're too unrealistic, or you think too small. But really all they're saying is your theory of change sucks butts. To be successful, a movement really needs people taking all of these avenues to the same end goal. It's like, I don't know, the evolutions of justice or whatever. Gotta, catch them all. I've been working from the theory of changing dominant institutions. And because I've been questioning it and challenging it and trying to study people who adhere more closely to other theories, that weird futility that I felt in the pit of my stomach all through the first 10 months of this year was because I was learning that my theory of change is insufficient, because all of them are on their own. And the relief that I felt when I passed out cold at 11 p.m. on November 3rd, because I felt on my spirit which way the votes were gonna fall, wasn't because I think that this one change in a dominant institution was gonna solve everything. Far from it. But because the people I've come to study and follow and sometimes feel uncomfortably challenged by now have a better shot at being able to continue, right? People that I'm seeing mad right now about people celebrating the election results are more of the create alternative systems folks that are like, a new president doesn't make white supremacy go away. And they're right. I just want to make their way easier. I just want to make sure that while y'all build those external systems, the systems that we've got do the least amount of harm that we can make them do. I saw this phrase in a tweet. I did not come up with it. I've been trying to find it for weeks, but I see changing dominant institutions as providing hospice care for a dying empire. How do we make sure that the most vulnerable among us get care, get representation, get as much safety as we can get to be part of that ideal future that we imagine? So I can both not have voted for Joe Biden in the primary and shake my ass to I'm just a Bill when the race is called in his favor. I can be really sad that none of the 3 state legislature candidates that we phone banked for won their races, but also be happy that I got about a dozen new people into the practice of regular voter contact. I believe that we're smart enough to do many things at the same time, and we have to hold together work and rage and rest and joy all in the same bodies if we mean to continue. If all of that seems impossible right now, if you've also been staring at a blank Google Doc for 3 weeks wondering how you say something that makes sense of this all, know that we can pull the answers from our lineage as organizers, from other branches of movement. We don't have to generate them all from our own self-contained take machines. Now let your body do you a kindness and get some sleep. In the comments, tell me which theory of change that I talked about most resonates with you. If you like this video, you can hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I make new ones. You can also join the Radish Collective, my community of Patreon supporters, get some extra writing for me. Also now you can pay annually if you want and get a free month of that if that makes more sense for you and your budget. Obviously, take care of yourself first. All right, thank you for giving me some time to process. I will see you soon. Bye.